and Jennifer Brandt are still with us. Are you guys ready? All right. Yeah, all right. We're going to kick things off with a story we have titled All Gas, No Brakes. A Florida man was in a high-speed chase with police after a string of car burglaries. Now, during the chase, Tim Hoog was speeding through a residential neighborhood in an effort to evade police. So let's take a look and see what happens. All right, so obviously he was apprehended. And in his mugshot, we can see his wonderful body art in the form of a neck tattoo that reads, "All gas, no brakes." So the question I'm wondering tonight is, should it have said, or should it have read, "All gas, no brains" instead? All right, let me start with you, Al. What do you think?
Well, first of all, if I walk into an elevator and I see a guy with a tattoo that says all gas and no brakes, I'm getting out of that elevator because it's plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Get this Mino some Beano.
Play on words.
Not going to happen.
So you're saying gas has many different meanings?
Oh, yeah, it doesn't? I'm sorry.
Of course it does. Jennifer, your thoughts? All gas, no brains? I mean...
It's hard to follow that, Michael. It's hard to follow that.
Who makes a choice, first of all, Jennifer, to do that to their face? You pretty much have set yourself up pretty much for the rest of your life.
That's right. He lived by that motto, as you can see. All gas and no brakes and no brains. And he acted upon it. So I think it was an appropriate tattoo for him.
Yeah, I have to agree. All right, let's go to our second story. This is a Tennessee man. He was driving children around in a train during a Christmas tractor parade when he was arrested for a DUI, which is why we're calling this one Bad Santa. Thanks to WATE Knoxville, we have an image of the little train that was being dragged around. Now, Henry Meade was spotted looking uneasy on his feet, causing police to stop him and conduct a field sobriety test. After he failed, authorities found, guess what? Meth, narcotics, and a syringe on his person. So the question we're asking tonight, should he be on his own naughty list? Darnell, you know, I mean, gifts, toys, trinkets for the kids. No, we found meth and other paraphernalia.
Well, he definitely was no Rudolph, and so he should definitely be on the naughty list. His cousin, Al Wunsch, and the other guy with the tattoos had no brakes, no brains, no hood, no glass, no front windshield, and now he should be on that list that have no drugs around those children. Al, control your cousins.
Uh-oh. Al, listen.
Driving that train, high on cocaine. Okay, I mean, isn't that a Christmas song? I mean, let's take a look at some of the other Christmas songs that I have out there. Whatever, Rudolph. How did Rudolph get all so, like, gutsy and everything else? What do you think he took before he started getting so, you know,
God, no.
brave? What about Frosty?
You would not blaspheme Rudolph.
What's in that corn cob pipe? What's in that corn cob pipe there, Frosty? And let's go. We Three Kings? We Three Kings, frankincense, and myrrh.
Never knew quite what those were.
I rest my case.
Jennifer, I got to say, though, that's hilarious. But to be more serious, to do this on this day at a parade with kids in a train in the back, I mean, I say throw the book at the guy.
I agree. And how did they hire this guy to begin with? I mean, did anyone do any checks on him? That's another whole issue. So, yeah, bad move. Yeah. Bad move, bad Santa.
Yeah, small town parade. Anyway, our final story of the night we have titled Better Late Than Never. In St. Paul, Minnesota, a book that was more than a century overdue has finally been returned to its library. The book was about famous composers, and it was recently discovered while a local was sorting through a relative's belongings. Now, originally rented in 1919, the book has finally been returned 104 years later. But before we get to the question, after reading this story, we couldn't help but be reminded of this episode from the legendary NBC TV show, Seinfeld. Let's watch.
I took this book out in 1971.
Yes, and I returned it in 1971.
Yeah, 71. That was my first year on the job. Bad year for libraries. Bad year for America. Hippies burning library cards. Abby Hoffman telling everybody to steal books. I don't judge a man by the length of his hair or the kind of music he listens to. Rock was never my bag. But you put on a pair of shoes when you walk into the New York Public Library, fella.
Look, Mr. Bookman. I returned that book. I remember it very specifically.
So the question I'm wondering tonight, was this a bad crime or actually a good deed? Jennifer.
I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. I think it's an artifact now that they found this book. And so I think it was a good deed. Maybe a little bit of a bad crime, but that's forgiven after all this time.
Yeah, and I think my wife is watching, and you know, there was a book recently. We found it around the house. We finally got back. So I just want to say that. Anyway, thanks to Al Wunsch III, Darnell Crosland, and Jennifer Brandt for joining me tonight. Always a real pleasure to have you guys on the show. Thank you so much.
Comment on this one?
All right. Before we go tonight, though, I want you guys to please take a look at your screen. This is Maya Haley. She's been missing since November 16th.